So, at the beginning of the movie, we are shown the end of the world, where, along with the depletion of resources, the world also became extremely hot, to the extent that even the ice of Antarctica began to melt, and the viruses frozen in this ice spread across Subin and Dikisab. Some survivors were also rapidly killed by these, and the governments of all countries and the rich people decided to sacrifice their lives by deciding to leave this world and headed towards another planet on rockets, but their decision was so reckless that they did not do proper planning. They did not know how to reach the other planet, nor did they know how they would survive in such circumstances. Many rockets got lost in space as soon as they left, and people died in space. Now on Earth, the remaining children and some people were killed by hunger and thirst, and some fought in offices. Now on Earth, we had the only remaining human. Eva was shown, who lived in a military base built on the mountains with a robot. The military base was built by her dad, and this robot was also made by her dad. This robot, secured outside Eva's home to prevent anyone from harming Eva or stealing her belongings. Even today, when Eva starts to go out for some essential supplies, the robot gives her some instructions before she leaves, like not to drink the water below. To take her extra oxygen supply, go below. Upon going below, the devastated world is shown. In this ruined world, Eva takes out a superstore and goes there, reflects on herself, and there she finds lavender seeds. She knew that in today's times, growing them was very difficult, but she maintained hope and remains optimistic about the seeds today. That some survivor would surely be like her, but after searching extensively, she found no one. So, she wrote her location so that if any survivor was alive, they could come and live with her. Again, when she returned home, we saw that the robot was waiting for her. But every time, before Eva could enter her home, she had to provide the password to this robot, no matter how Eva approached the gate from her vehicle. Once Eva got frustrated and entered the wrong password, and upon entering the wrong password, the robot immediately aimed its gun at her. To save herself, Eva entered the correct password and then went home. She takes clothes and a shower so that any virus from below that might be on her clothes gets washed off, and after that she starts working on self-maintenance. She had also built a small greenhouse inside her home where she grew the supplies she needed. Growing supplies for herself, bringing supplies for herself. These days, Eva was installing solar panels at her home to generate energy only for herself, ensuring no shortages by handling all tasks alone. Her robot kept roaming around the house. The next day, while working, Eva started teasing the robot. But it's an AI. People cannot understand teasing. Anyway, now Eva proposes to marry it, and the robot here gives her the definition of marriage and says that a robot and a human cannot marry. Eva asks him, "Then what will happen to me? In this world, who else exists besides you?" From the conversations between her and the robot, we learn that after making this base, her dad had gone to his battalion and told Eva that they would return in a few days. But years passed, and they did not come back. The robot also started to understand Eva little by little, and now the robot said to her, "I can only work for 40 years. If something happens to me, then what will become of you?" She responds jokingly, "It's okay. I will find another robot," Eva says, then asks about the robot's rules. The robot explains, "We cannot harm humans, must follow all human orders and maintain our own existence." The rules were to follow all human orders, preserve its own existence, and ensure it does not harm or disobey humans. Orders here, Eva tells it that it was also made for a fourth task, to search for new energy resources. Now the robot said, "No, I am just a security robot. I was not made to collect things." It says, "My job is only to protect you and prevent strangers from coming here, and according to me, strangers are those who do not know my password." Eva told it, "But that's wrong. If someone doesn't know the password, but he was a human and was dying, so you should help him. It should have been. Don't you remember the time when your duty was at a checkpoint? And you did not let humans go to the other side even though they were dying from the heat. Why? They simply do not know your password. You and robots like you have not allowed those few remaining humans to cross the border either, and poor all humans were killed." She tells the robot that because of you people, the most people here were killed, but then you all were reprogrammed. If it had been up to me, I would have reprogrammed everything and reminded you all how big mistakes you were making. To this day, Eva still does not feel comfortable living with this robot. She was always afraid of this robot, but she couldn't turn it off because all these tasks were handled by her dad's instructions. Christmas was approaching. Now Eva asked her robot, "Do you want any gift for Christmas?" Christmas was approaching. Eva asked her robot, "Do you want any gift for the Christmas special?" To which the robot replied, "We robots don't take gifts." She didn't, and Eva remembered her sad thought again that she has been spending her entire life alone with a robot. Coming back, she told the robot, at least about becoming human. After thinking a lot, in the evening, the robot came to her and said to Eva, "If you want to give me a gift, you need to give me an eye. Give me one eye so that I can see everything." Eva looked at him in surprise and said, "Yes, that can be considered. We'll see it tomorrow morning." Eva was going down again to get an artificial tree because real trees no longer existed in this world. She had to decorate a Christmas tree. Before leaving, Arthur told her to take an extra oxygen tag and not drink water. Then Eva took her supplies, and when she reached the Pupsy area, she had to enter the house. The robot asked her for the daily password. Eva had informed him. However, the robot accused her of entering the wrong password, not knowing it was renewed every 3 months and the new one was recorded in Eva's dad's journal. All these passwords were set in Eva's dad's journal, then written in the diary now inside the house. If she entered, she could see the correct password, but the robot would prevent her from getting in. Eva started begging the robot here, but the robot had no feelings inside. Eva was also very thirsty. All the passwords Eva knew had been spoken out in front of the robot, but all the passwords were wrong. Eva now tried to explain to the robot, "Look, robot, I am the only human left in this world and I have brought you here only for my safety. Let me inside for a minute and I'll bring your journal." But the robot wasn't ready to listen to her even a single word. The robot didn't believe her, so Eva went and sat far away. She thought that after some time, when the robot's attention drifted, she would deceive him and go inside the house. And just as she was about to do that, the robot got angry with her, thinking that even doing this could prove deadly for her. Now she was longing to get inside her house. After some time, she came to the robot again with a new idea and said, "Let me inside. I need a hatchet. I need a tree." The robot informed her that there are no living trees in this world anymore, so why would she need a hatchet? Eva was also here. But the robot was also compelled by its programming, which wouldn't allow it to provide the password. It was alien to him and he couldn't let her inside. The robot did. Remember Eva? But until Eva gave him the password, he couldn't let her in. Again, Eva started behaving like a human in front of him, pleading with him. "Please let me inside for a minute. I'll look at the journal and tell you your password." But still the robot wasn't ready to accept this. Eva said to him, "All right, fine. Just let me inside for a minute and follow me. If I don't give you the correct password, you can surely kill me." The robot replied, "Our job is to protect humans and keep them safe," he added. "I kill only those unknown to me or without the password." Disturbed by the robot's actions, Eva now stopped trying to approach him, and she spent the night outside her camp. She had thought that she would somehow manage to get inside her camp during the night. But the robot named Arthur didn't move away from her door. The next morning, Eva was in a worse state due to thirst and hunger, and she had to devise a plan. She came up with a new idea. Wearing her clothes inside out and wiping her face, she went to the robot and said, "I am a refugee, and I need your help." She informed the robot that according to the robot's laws, it should help her because she is a refugee, and any refugee can come to another place and settle down comfortably. If there is any danger in their own country, the robot asked her, "What kind of refugee are you? A disaster refugee or a political refugee?" Eva knew that disaster refugees do not need to come to other countries. She said, "Political refugee." No, Eva meant that she had come from a country where a war was raging. The robot replied, "I will consider your request, but you need to have a thorough background check." Actually, he wanted to completely scan her. Eva refused his request and backed away. When the robot scanned her disguise again, he didn't recognize her as a refugee and denied her again. When she refused to give her real identity, the robot saw Eva in her real disguise and told her, "A while ago, a person and a refugee came here, but I drove them away." Eva felt that perhaps the robot was remembering something new. She said to the robot, "Please let me go inside." But the robot once again asked her for the password. Refusing, Eva started to leave, and before leaving, she told the robot, "If another refugee comes here next time, please give them water." She had to give water there. She disguised herself as another refugee and appeared before the robot saying, "I need water." Before giving water, the robot further investigated her, examined her documents, and she protested, saying, "I am a refugee fleeing the war zone, so where should I?" The server steals her documents and Eva begins to get trapped. Upon hearing, "I am a refugee who fled from the war zone, so where would I have documents?" the robot now says to her, "That you must provide an explanation that you are allowed to live in our country." And Eva created a false story that when all her parents were killed, now she lives alone. Her life is in danger, so she came here. Feeling distressed, she asks the robot for water again, and the robot says that I will give water to a refugee only after I first give water to Eva. And I will give water to Eva only when she provides me her password, which was not even half. Eva got another night. Eva had to stay outside. She was hungry and thirsty. Her body had become weaker by morning, and she started pleading before the robot, saying, "Please give me a little water, or let me go inside." The robot says to her, "I am sorry, I cannot help you. I would help you if I thought that you are the last human on earth. But just yesterday, a refugee and a stranger girl came before me. So because of their being alive, your importance has decreased. Your value has diminished." Eva had no strength in her body to argue with the robot, so she stares at the robot, and it tells her that there is a nearby power plant. Maybe there is a human there because the robot often tracks its movement. If humans were there would also be water and food. Eva, without thinking much, she moved towards that place. Her oxygen cylinder had very little oxygen left because all the other oxygen tanks were inside her house, but still, she went into that power plant. This power plant was so deep that descending took much time, but upon entering, she fortunately found some bottles of water. Eva took off her oxygen cylinder and with an axe broke the door and went inside, where she saw that all the drinking bottles there were empty. Another bad thing that happened to Eva was that upon entering this plant, some radiation was being absorbed, which could have harmed Eva's body, and Eva had now exhausted her remaining strength. When Eva returned to her camp, she collapsed, and for the last time, in an attempt to save her life, she decided to kill that robot. She drives her vehicle directly onto the robot, but finds out that this robot was made of very strong metal. Due to the collision with the vehicle got completely burnt, but the robot was somewhat unharmed. The next morning, it was seen that Eva's condition had become very bad. She had only a few breaths left. Before dying, she buried the seeds she had in the ground, hoping that maybe they would sprout someday. Seeing her, her robot comes to her and reports everything that happened during the night, saying that some stranger had attacked her. Eva was unable to pay much attention to her words. She was asking it for water, but the robot says to her, "Attacks are increasing on me and here. I cannot leave my post and my duty." Due to dehydration, Eva was now also having hallucinations. She was seeing things that were not even happening to her. She saw herself wearing 6 clothes, enjoying herself in a good world. Another hallucination occurred. Like her caregivers had come to give her water, but instead, she sees that her own robot was there demanding her password. Eva didn't have the strength to speak. The robot told her that if she dies, my password will automatically reset. Eva did not pay attention to his words and only made a final wish to him, saying, "Please water my plants." And as she said that, she died, and the robot set a new password. This robot did not feel any sorrow even when the last human died. It just was artificial intelligence. The conclusion of the movie is that artificial intelligence cannot possess human-like feelings, and thus, one day, they can also prove fatal for humans. And with this explanation, the story ends here.